ready. Welcome back to some more Bates Motel. We are here today. I am so happy to sit here and say that I was not disappointed by deciding to watch Bates Motel. This was suggested on the Patreon, and I've enjoyed every minute of it. And I'm planning to see how they wrap this thing up. I will have my review at the end, of course. Let's jump into these episodes of Bates Motel. I will see you guys right after for the review.
I'm gonna need you to talk to me about the call you made. Can you open your eyes? Can you look at me?
I want my meds. I need my meds. If my brother has them, please let me take them and then get me out of here. I can't be in this house. Okay, please, Sheriff, please, it'll make it easier, and I just don't want to fight it anymore, okay?
Okay, listen. What you said to me about Sam Loomis, that is very serious. I'm gonna take you down to the station.
And my medication.
Right. I'm gonna have Deputy Baker get your medication from your brother, and he'll be right behind us. But you and I need to start talking.
I'll tell you everything.
Norman.
Sir, I need
Norman,
you to sit
Norman,
down.
wait.
Have a seat.
Norman, you don't have to do this.
Get him in the car. I'm taking Norman to the station voluntarily.
He has the right to a lawyer.
He does. And when he makes that request, that right will be granted.
Norman, please just listen to me, okay? I'm gonna get you a lawyer. All right, just don't say anything until your lawyer gets there. Do you understand? Norman, please just tell me that you understand what I'm saying. You have to let me help you, okay? Please let me help you.
Gotta go.
It's time for this to end one way or the other.
So after you placed the body in the trunk, how many miles did you drive?
It was about 5 miles, maybe more.
How long did the drive take you?
Possibly 15 minutes.
Can you show me again where the well is?
The well?
Last time, you pointed here.
I'm sorry, Sheriff, but I just was not exactly myself that night.
You say you drove past Falls Lake that night.
Yes.
We pulled 2 bodies from the lake that night. Jim Blackwell, as I told you, and an unidentified female.
It's probably
Her body
Bradley.
was too decomposed to ID, but we're working on it.
It's Bradley.
Or maybe you could just tell me who she is.
I
Could you speak up? I want the recording to hear you.
don't know.
Did you kill them, Norman?
It's possible.
It's possible?
There's just a lot that I don't know, Sheriff. A lot that I try really very, very hard to understand, and I just never can.
Here's what I'm starting to think. I'm starting to think you're making it up.
I'm not.
I've seen the way you live. You had a crazy mother who left you a failing business. You've developed this strange adult affect to present maturity, but from where I'm sitting, you're a child.
Yeah.
And
Don't you
children
think there's
sometimes
a reason
act
for
out.
that?
Almost always because they feel ignored.
Bitch.
So
you're
I'm starting to...
You are a terrible police officer. I'm sorry, man, but I'm sitting here listening to this lady, and I can't help it. If you have a suspect, I'm not a police officer, but I can tell you, this ain't it. This ain't it. If you have a suspect that calls 911 and say they murdered somebody, right? You're asking them questions and they seem confused, which is, it's normal. It's normal for people to be confused if they said it. Shouldn't you be asking him questions about, okay, you dumped him in a well. Okay, let's go out and see if there's actually like this well exists in any of these places that he's pointing to. That would be your next thing. Instead of sitting here saying that he's a child that needs attention and he's making the stuff up, or at least not hearing what he said before. Hey, I need my medication. That would be the first thing you should be trying to find out. What kind of medication is this? Is this a psychiatric medication that he's, like a psychosis medication that he's taken? Something that's wrong with him? Like, try to find out his medical history. Something. There's so many things that this woman could be doing right now than sitting here saying that he's not. I can't. It's annoying me because they're purposely making her, in a way, dumb. You really think that Norman did this just for attention? You always take the things in consideration that are more serious first than to say that a 19-year-old kid, I don't know, I think he's 19 now, right? A 19-year-old kid needs attention? His brother was also at the house that got hurt. There's so much to the circumstances right now that you could be doing to have more context to having this conversation that you're not even exploring. But your epiphany about this entire thing is that Norman did this for attention? Are you dumb?
Said maybe calling in all my cops and searching your motel, your house, questioning you now is just giving you exactly what you want.
Okay.
Attention.
Sheriff, I am lonely, and I have spent the last 2 years pretending to know more than I do. And I'm not lying about this. I killed Sam Loomis, and I watched his eyes go blank. I did. Me, Norman, I did that. That is one thing that I know for sure.
Why did you kill him?
Because my mother told me to.
I don't know.
Also, doesn't want to say the thing that make him look crazy as well. What makes you think your mother is not going to be in this cell with you?
What did you do? What did you do?
You were gonna hurt Dylan.
So what? He abandoned you.
Why is she whispering?
I'm the only one who's gonna protect you.
This is insane, man. Imagine your insanity wants you to stay insane. Oh, yo. Look at his eyes.
I know you think I'm a monster.
Because you are. This man needs to be in a psychiatric hospital in a straitjacket. That's what he needs. That's where he needs to be right now.
I know you did. You tried so hard for such a long time. But, hon, you are in a big pickle. Norman, you are. I'm not mad at you, but I just can't let you do any more damage. It's time for me to fix this.
I still think that you can fix this, Mom.
You're right. I can't. Not with you here. Forgive me.
It's gonna take over. How did...
I'm gonna wake you up when things are safe again, okay? Rest up.
So, your brother, what do I need to know about him?
It's just I've never talked to anyone about Norman outside the family before.
Right, but I'm assuming he's also never confessed to murder before.
Look, Norman is nice, okay? He's kind, he's a good person. He has another side to him, you know, I don't know what you'd call it, maybe multiple personalities or something, but he changes. You know, 2 years ago, things got really bad, and my mom wouldn't deal with it, so I left.
What kind of things were happening?
Well, my mother-in-law came and stayed at the motel, and we haven't seen her since. I mean, she was never a good mother, so it's possible that, you know, she just didn't want to have anything to do with us.
But people don't disappear without a trace.
And I've looked. I mean, I've really looked.
That your nice brother?
Last night, he hit me in the head with a water glass.
Are you planning on pressing charges?
Are you serious?
Just checking.
Listen, I don't know if he did what he confessed to.
This
I
whole
just
thing
know
is
that he
wild,
needs to be in
so...
a mental facility.
Yeah, he
He's
does.
always needed. You know, he's crazy. He's not a bad person. He's not a criminal. He's crazy.
He's mentally ill.
How you feeling, Norman?
Peachy keen, thanks for asking.
Glad to hear it. What happened there?
Clumsy. I'm all arms and legs, and this is a pretty small space, Sheriff.
Are you guys seeing that? Actually,
Okay. Well, let's go back to the interview room. We can try again.
You mean
if you noticed just now, I didn't want to change it, but the shadow, the reflection that was in the glass was Norma. I don't know if you guys noticed that. It's a cute little way of showing that it's not Norman in charge right now.
so your little sidekicks can watch me through that two-way mirror like I'm a lab rat? Standard procedure to question someone who's mentally ill without a lawyer present.
It's her
You never
reflection
requested a lawyer,
that's crazy.
Norman. In fact, you said you didn't want one. Do you remember that?
Of course I remember that. You just wouldn't let me take my meds, so I was not able to think clearly.
So you're requesting a lawyer now?
Actually, Jane, I think I'd rather leave. I know I said a bunch of crazy stuff, but that's just what happens to me when I stop taking my meds. So I do apologize if I've inconvenienced you, but I'd very much like to go home now.
I can understand why you might want to go home, but you confessed to murder. So we need to talk more about that.
Look, Sheriff, I know my rights, so unless you're
That is
charging me
crazy,
with something, I'm
man.
heading right out that door.
That's brilliantly done. I like
Norman
the fact
Bates,
that they're
you're under
doing that.
arrest for the murder of Sam Loomis.
Excuse me?
You have the right to remain silent.
What?
Anything
No,
you
hold
say
on.
can
You
and
can't
will
do
be
that.
used against
I
you in
was
a court of
making
law.
it up.
You have
I
the
was
right to
just
an attorney.
upset
If
because
you
my
cannot
brother
afford an
showed up
attorney,
out of
one will
nowhere
be
and he can be a
provided
real
for you.
asshole. Where's your proof? Where is it? Show me proof.
I don't have to show you proof, Norman. That's
confess.
not how this works. I hope you enjoy the accommodations. Not as nice as your motel, but we do try.
Yeah, you confess to murder. You don't just get to go home. You can't just say, oh, that was a mistake. They gotta investigate. Why is Chick coming around now?
Dearie me.
Excuse me, sir. Can I help you?
Probably not. Saw the hubbub.
The motel is closed for business, sir.
Why is that?
It's an active crime scene, sir.
Well, business with the motel owner. A business meeting. May I go up to...
What's in the bag, sir?
It's a raccoon.
The house is an active crime scene as well.
Is he dead?
What's your name, sir? Your name, please?
Hogan. Charles Hogan. People call me Chick. Can you just please tell me if he's dead?
He's not dead.
He's not... Ha! Ha!
You say you're in business with the owner?
Yes. Norman, I'm bringing these animals to taxidermy. So is this a murder investigation then?
I'm not allowed to disclose that information.
Well, you wouldn't devote so many resources if it weren't a murder investigation, would you? Wouldn't give a hell about who I was if it weren't a murder investigation. You don't need to say anything. You already did.
Please remove the handcuffs.
Standard procedure.
Yeah, standard procedure would mean filing formal charges, but I see that hasn't happened yet. Someone got you in a fishing expedition, Billy. You could use a win. I heard the sheriff's trimming the fat.
Nice to see you too, Julia.
He's out in 24 hours. You might want to walk a little bit faster.
Does this seem pretty familiar?
I'm this building's least favorite nuisance. Julia Ramos. Your brother hired me on retainer.
What did Dylan tell you about me?
The bare minimum.
Horseshit. Let's be clear, Julia. If we do this, you work for me. Now, I don't know what he told you, but I'm guessing it's something about how I must be nuts, how I need to be medicated, blah, blah, blah.
Something to that effect,
But if your
yes.
plan is to put me in a mental institution, you can walk right out that door.
Okay. I work for you, Norman. I will proceed down whatever path you want to pursue.
Well, I didn't do it.
You confessed to murder, which isn't ideal for a case.
I was not on my meds. I didn't know what I was saying.
That can help us. We can and we will present it as a psychotic episode, but you didn't just confess to murder, Norman. You said there was a body, and you gave him a location of where they could find that body. So they're gonna do a thorough search, and if they don't find anything, we should be fine.
But if they do,
But if there is a body, well, then you'll need to explain why you lied about murdering that body.
And why would someone lie about something like that?
Someone else would have to have killed Sam Loomis.
that freaking devious smile that she has is so cute, but so freaking devious.
Playing a little fast and loose with the rules, huh, Sheriff?
Am I?
Court's open today. What haven't formal charges been filed?
Oh, my secretary can be slow with paperwork, but she's very thorough. Your client wanted to talk to me about something?
Despite the fact that you questioned him without a lawyer present, denied him his right to his medication, and are now holding him overnight on some bogus murder charge, yes, my client would like to be cooperative. You can stop at any point. You're under no obligation to do this, okay?
I want to. I feel terrible about all the trouble that I've caused. The truth is, Sheriff, I don't know where the body is. I'm not even sure if there is a body. I'm so embarrassed to admit this, but I fell in love, desperately in love with this married woman, Madeline Loomis. She's Sam's wife.
I know who Madeline Loomis is.
Boy, was I lonely after my mother died.
Are you about to pin this
And
on Madeline?
She reminded me so much of her. You know, she dressed like my mother. She laughed like her. It was like they shared the same indomitable spirit. And I was undone.
Bruh, that's crazy.
Madeline was a very lonely woman, too, with good reason, because Sam was having an affair. And I know this because he would come to my motel to have his fun. Nasty, nasty, nasty man. When Madeline found out what was happening, she showed up enraged, and let me tell you, it was quite the scene, Sheriff. The mistress, she took off. Those tire marks that you saw in the gravel, they were from her. Madeline and Sam, they went on off together. But then, Madeline came back later that night, distraught. shaking. She seemed in shock.
What you don't know, and you're telling this story, at least what his conscience or the crazy part of him, which is Norma, doesn't know is that Dylan saw Madeline that night. Dylan saw Madeline and she came over. So not this, I don't think it's the same night, but Dylan has seen her, that she was looking for her husband. So they're probably gonna ask Dylan, but Dylan's not gonna know why they're asking him about it. That's what I'm thinking, and he's probably going to spill the beans and completely throw this story out.
Said that she thought her life was over, that she could feel this noose tightening around her neck because of what she'd done. She told me Sam was dead. Something about the woods, a well. She just sobbed in my arms, and then she kissed me.
Now would be a good time, because they said the
What I felt from
doctor
Madeline
was...
probably a form of delusion. It was madness. You know, I know that now, but she was just so fragile, Sheriff. She was so vulnerable, and I suppose after my mother's death, not being able to save her, I wanted things to be different for Madeline, and that is why I decided to take the blame.
That's a great story.
Looking back, with the benefit of hindsight, I guess, I fear I may have been an easy target for her. My mother did always say that I was too naive about beautiful women. And my mother was always right.
I know we reached out to you earlier about your husband's whereabouts.
No one gave me any information. Why are you looking for him?
We have reason to believe that something might have happened to him.
What do you mean?
Are you familiar with Norman Bates?
Yes, but we're friendly.
Last night he called the station and said he killed your husband. We have no evidence to suggest that your husband's dead, but he does appear to be missing. I wish I had more conclusive information, but I felt an obligation to tell you what I know. Madeline, we know nothing for sure yet, nothing. And I hate telling you this. Like, do you know why Norman would claim to have murdered Sam?
I don't know.
Are you sure?
I've only known him for a few weeks. He likes my store. He bought paint and shower curtains for his motel.
He appears to have been infatuated with you. Is there any basis for this infatuation?
Oh yes, there is. She invited him to her house and kissed him. Man, easy target. This man just still looking for this gun, eh? Jeez. Would you just leave this woman in danger? You think she sleeps with it beside her? That's insane. You're going too far, Alex. Damn, she did have it right under her pillow. That's crazy. Why would you keep a gun there?
I have news.
Put Norman back in the interrogation room.
Well, his lawyer says he's not talking anymore.
Doesn't mean he should be comfortable.
I want him to feel like he's being watched.
I wonder what's the break they got.
The police are looking for you. They said something happened. They were... I don't know. You owe me that, please.
You haven't been able to reach him in like for so long.
Sorry to disturb you so late.
How'd you know I was here?
Oh, it's a small town. I make friends.
How's Norman?
We're taking care of him, but I'm not here about your brother. We pulled 2 bodies out of Falls Lake a couple days ago. We just identified one of them as Audrey Ellis.
Oh, it's actually Emma's mother.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I thought Bradley was put in the lake too.
I just thought you should know. I thought you'd want to be the one to tell your wife.
No, you just wanted to tell me first so you could gauge my reaction.
I understand loyalty. I understand the instinct to protect your brother, but I've seen family members destroyed over much less than what you're facing now. Consider cooperating with us. I can't guarantee it'll feel good, but...
I mean, at this point, I don't understand why we not pleading insanity. You know he needs to be in a mental institution. You need to tell him, hey, I mean, they're not, if you plead insanity to this, like the evidence is all leading back to Norman, and you know that, Dylan. So to protect your brother, it's just like, at the end of the day, you know he has multiple personalities. There's people who can attest to this other than you and Norma. Other people knew he was crazy. He was in a mental institution. There's evidence of this everywhere. So there's no reason for you not to want insanity. I guess you don't want him to be considered a murderer or whatever. But he needs help, and now you're turning into Norman, not getting him help. You need to convince him to confess everything that he needs to confess. And now Alex is, for some reason, coming here now. Doesn't know that it's an active crime scene, bruh. Because he doesn't even know what's going on. Imagine the local people not even covering this. I guess you gotta read the newspaper for every news you want in this town. You don't have no news channels, no nothing. And he really loved Norman, man. He really did, bruh. Man, Alex, you could have just did your bid and just forget about all of this.
Just be patient, Norman. If this goes well in the morning, you can come back.
This man really fell asleep in the house.
I guess it's just us for a bit.
Oh, Chick is here. Chick
hurt
is so
so many
weird.
times.
He's still writing his book.
I don't.
Hands up, get him up. Up.
Well, hey, you want me to turn off the tape recorder first? I have to put my hands up. It's stupid.
What the hell are you doing here?
Well, it's kind of difficult to explain.
Well, why don't you try?
All right, well, where to begin? This looks weird. All right, starting simple. After Norma died, Norman felt lonely. I felt lonely after my kid and my wife took off, so we became friends. You know, but when I say it like that, it sounds like, you know, reductive. It wasn't just a friendship of necessity. I recognized in Norman that he had the soul of an artist. When I was in college...
Check. What are you doing here?
You want me to say that he's crazy? I wouldn't say that he's crazy.
Oh, really? I would.
Maybe the world tosses that word around too much.
Are you serious
You
right
killed
now?
his mother.
The man is the definition of
And
crazy.
he loved her.
Okay. I guess we have to... Yes, he loved her, but to what end?
So I'm gathering that it was probably very hard for you to get here, and that you're feeling a little miffed that Norman's not home.
Where is he?
So my sources tell me that last night he confessed to murder. He's in jail.
Oh, what the hell are you doing here?
Dancing with newborn angels, trying to catch a muse.
Why don't you say it like a normal person?
I'm writing a book!
About what?
Look, I know, it sounds bad.
It
I
sounds
wrestled
bad.
with my own feelings of exploitation, but after I got to know them, Norman and Norma, and this beautiful haunted old house, I felt an obligation to record the events that have happened here.
Son of a bitch. You son of... You, if you know what Norman's done, you're an accessory to murder.
Says the escaped convict.
So this is where he keeps him, huh?
It's a little obvious. Norman's more romantic than that.
Oh, yeah? Then why are you sitting here?
Because I wanted to feel what she felt.
What are you talking about?
To be adored like a queen. He built this place for her, like a mausoleum.
What the hell are you talking about?
He dug her up. He dug her up.
Where is she now?
I don't know. He must have had the foresight to move her before the cops came and searched the house. Looking at you standing there. The sheriff who's escaped from prison on a mission to avenge the woman he loves from her murderous and sick son. It's like too much, man.
It's like the story writes
You guys
itself,
are
right?
Perfectly worthy adversaries. More surprised than the brain would allow you to imagine.
Well, there you go. Yes. That was gonna happen one way or the other. I knew Alex was gonna leave him alive there, man. They're probably gonna find Norma instead of Sam. The wheelchair. No, the well. Oh shit, they actually found it. Shit, they found Sam.
Told you to take care of it, Norman.
Morning, Sheriff. Appreciate the visit, but we're not supposed to be talking anymore.
We're charging you additionally with the murders of Jim Blackwell and Audrey Ellis. You don't need to say a thing.
Tough cookies. Norman, you made it worse. You made it worse, Norman. Let's talk about this episode. This episode was kind of nuts. Okay? Pun intended. This is... Sometimes it's hard to find words to describe this, because this is actually the first time. I told you guys, like, anything in this kind of genre I don't really watch. I think the closest thing I would say that I've watched in a genre like this was Dexter. I think Dexter is probably the closest thing I've watched, because this is not, it's not a crime drama. You know what I'm saying? It's not a crime drama. It's not about the crime. It's about the psychotic murderer. You know what I'm saying? Dexter was a serial killer, you know, but he only killed bad people, right? That was who Dexter was. And you know, in this one, you have a character that's dealing with his own mental issues, but it's like it's a split personality. In Dexter, it's not a split personality. Dexter is Dexter, right? He chooses his victims and he kills them. You know what I'm saying? And he develops a method of doing it and intriguing stuff. If you've never seen Dexter, go watch it. Really good show. I have not watched, because I think they brought it back as well, and I have not watched it. One day I'll watch it on my own. I don't need to react to it. But the way how they write this, man, and I'm gonna be talking about all this once I finish watching the final episode today, but just the way how they write the show is just so intriguing. It's so like out there in a way that you can't, it's like, you know, it's a possibility that it's happening in real life, but it's also so like out there that you're like, there's no way something like this could happen in real life, but it could, because it's grounded so much in reality that this could have been happening. It's a small town, right? It's not a big town, it's not a city, right? It's a small town where a lot of little details can be hidden, if you will, that, you know, you may never find about, you know, Norman has killed what, 3 people? I mean, not Norman, but you know, his other part, his other personality has always been protecting him, which is in the form of his mother, right? He killed 3, 4, 5, maybe 5. I think it's 5. You got Sam, if you include Sam. Is Sam, Bradley, you got Sam, you got Bradley, you got the guy that came to, you know, that Alex sent. You got the teacher, and now Emma's mother, right? Who else? I feel like there was somebody else. I think that's it. I'm surprised that they didn't, that the lady that they found wasn't Bradley, because I thought they were just gonna leave the whole Emma's mom situation like just kind of out there. It's just like, okay, this is something that they're never gonna find out what happens, right? So, but that's not the case. I guess we're gonna know whether we like it or not. So what I'm gonna do for the final 2 episodes, I'm gonna put those together. I'm gonna put the last 2 together to watch together, instead of having it just, you know, whatever, to just do it, you know, one by one. I'm just gonna do the last 2 episodes together, because this show deserves it deserves a double episode for the end, right? It just deserves a double upload for the end. I love watching Bates Motel, man. This was an awesome story, to say the least. You know, and it was based off of a book. There was a movie as well, I think, as far as I can tell. And to see that they're using that as a kind of like breaking the fourth wall situation with Chick as well. And I'm just like, you're in way too deep, Chick. I don't think this book needs to come out. You're sick as well to find. And it's very true. It's like, some things happen, and it's like, as I was talking about earlier, it's like things happen and you're like, there's no way this could possibly happen in real life. But a lot of this stuff, a lot of true crimes, is what inspire a lot of, you know, writers and stuff like that to write these intriguing, you know, crime novels and stuff like that is because of real events. They may change a few details, but a lot of them are really based on true events that happen. You know what I mean? Whether slightly based or complete fiction, still intriguing. But a lot of them draw from things happen in real life. When you're a writer, it's the best kind of source material. It's the best kind of support material, because if somebody told you this story, just told you this story, would you believe it? You know what I'm saying? Like off bat, you'd be like, nah, that's crazy. Every twist and turn that you get to be like, nah, there's no way. There's no way this woman was there the entire time and not get help for her son. There's no way. But it is possible. It is possible. It's not too far out there for you to say, there's absolutely no way this happened. Right? Because it's so based. It's so based, it's ridiculous. But anyways, guys. Great episode. I'm going to watch the last 2 episodes together. Hopefully you guys are ready for that. It's going to be a long video when that drops. 2 episodes together. And there's going to be the series review alongside that as well at the end of episode 10. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate y'all. Thank you guys for watching alongside with me when we get to the end. Appreciate y'all, man. Leave a like, leave a comment. I'll see you guys for the next one. I'm out. Peace.